Hello, hello, my lovely and wonderful punks. How you doing? Hoping you're all having a good day so far. Hope you've been taking care of yourselves. Uh, Today is another rough day. Uh, for those who have not heard already, Tim Curry passed, who is another extremely well beloved actor, and he is. I use a sound clip of his for whenever someone donates to the stream. His escape from capitalism line read that is just so goofy because he couldn't do anything less goofy. He just it's such a silly line, and he knew it. And boy, an extremely talented actor, and losing him and Dolly in the same week is really rough. But yeah, it happens. We're going to be doing more Citizen Sleeper today. I want to give a quick shout out / thank you for following to Tourmaline Hazard, Tiny Foxtrot, and Goat Evergold. I really enjoyed rating the three of them streaming together yesterday. All three seem super fun, and you should definitely follow them. And they are official punks, as are all of my followers. Sammy, you were first. Specs, thank you for the care package. EO, thank you for the 55 stream streak. So fun reading their stream yesterday. They're all great. Yeah, I noticed some people were able to stick around longer than I was. I really appreciate when you guys get hyped for the people I stream to. Stream raid. It's always nice. And also was nice talking to Z yesterday and talking about possibly doing a Far Far West collab. So we'll do that at some point. Hello, Milia. Hello, Fox. How you? Well, I know how you're doing. I saw the frustrating stuff, but I hope you're doing okay, and I hope I can be a fun distraction while you're here. Oh, man. Excuse me. I'm so gunky today. I've been so gunky lately, and I wish I knew why. And speaking of saying hello to people, hello, the Quicks. Everyone go follow the Quicks on Blue Sky and on here. Fantastic Banani artist. Hello, Neo. Time to scrim. Yeah. Hello, Specs. Hello, EO. Hello, Fox. We got two Fox. We got a Neo Fox and a Fox. Gunky Skunky. Yeah, that's me. If it rhymes with skunk, it's obligated to be part of my title. So bad you can't understand what's being said and now it's frozen. Oh, I'm sorry, EO. That sucks. Alright, we're gonna pop into the game. I forget what was happening last. We finished up stuff with Fang. I think he's finally going to disable my tracker long after an assassin came after me. Good luck with stream, thank you. Gonna have to leave. Hopefully you'll be able to catch a weekend stream. I hope so, EO. What else we got? We need to get a ship mine for the ambergris. I should really look it up. Is it ambergris or ambergris? It's a word I've seen written a few times, but never actually had to read prior. Yeah, we're about to get attacked by Ethan. I need new mushrooms for emphasis stall. I guess I should just go to sleep. I don't have any dice right now. Well, I need food. I should eat something and then I should go to sleep. Is there anything else going on of interest? I don't think so. Okay. So we'll go to emphasis. We will... Oh, yes, we got a discount now. Imagine sleeping. Couldn't be you. Emmy, you have to. Emmy, it's important. You've always heard it grist like hiss? Ah, that might be the case. Oh, I can now get a discount on feeding the kitty. Let's feed the kitty again. I want to feed the kitty every day. But... I imagine there's an invisible clock on that one. Okay. Those are... dice. Alright, so what we got? Oh, this has one more dip. Okay. Unfortunately, it's still going to beat out Fang. Actually, they're going to happen at the same time. Both Ambergris or Ambergris are accepted. I wish I had a better hold on the phonetic alphabet. Gris and Grease. Okay. But the S is pronounced. Got it. I need the... I wanted to learn the phonetic alphabet because I really like phonetics. However, when I took a phonetics class in college, it was part of my Spanish track, and for some reason, it was teaching, like, advanced scientific phonetics, like, you know, things like mouth position and mouth shapes and stuff like that. Very scientific words in Spanish. And my Spanish was decent, but, like, it was still, at best, conversational and children's book. So I ended up doing poorly in the class, as did most of the other students. And then I had to eventually drop the class because the teacher was a prick. Midstream good, beef stew is better. Sorry, you missed the intro. That's fair. No. Beef stew takes priority over me. Hi, Sammy. Congrats on your 230 stream streak. What all's in your beef stew? Stew sounds so tasty right now. Alright, so... Your Spanish teacher got fired and arrested for icky things? Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't have someone who was that bad. My Spanish phonetics teacher in college, so basically what happened is I was sick and didn't go to class on a Thursday. The class was like an hour and a half on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I missed a Thursday, and on that Thursday, she said, hey, we're going to do a group project, split into groups. I wasn't there, so I got assigned to a random other person. I'm a little annoyed that my cousin, who was also taking the class, didn't pick me, but whatever. Got assigned to a random other person. I get to class on Tuesday. That student hasn't emailed me or contacted me in any way. The teacher goes, hey, by the way, you're part of this group for this project. I go, oh, okay. So I email them and I say, hey, so when would you like to meet up and work on this project? And they email me a finished PowerPoint and say, it's done. And I go, oh, okay, well, can I contribute something to it? Or could we meet up to practice giving the presentation? No. Okay, so, or no, we can't meet up, but if you want to add a slide, you can. So I complete a slide, I research it or I practice it as best I can on my own. Then the day of the project comes up, we're somehow on the first day before almost anyone else. So I don't have anyone else's presentations to go off of. And I'm like, hey, can I be standing close to the laptop so that I can read under the, what do you call them, panels? Slides? Read the notes that are under that. And she goes, no, you stand on the opposite side. I'm going to stand by the laptop. And I go, okay, well, I'm going to try and give this presentation as best as I can off of my memory without having been able to practice, without having been able to see the materials that my partner used. And then and I thought I did a pretty decent job, all things considered. And then at the end of the day, the teacher calls me over and goes, hey, how much of this did you work on? And I said, well, not very much, because my partner wouldn't work with me on it, refused to let me work on it, because she had finished it before I even knew it existed. And she goes, I thought that was the case. I'm giving you a 0. And I'm like, what? I tried to work on it. It's not my fault that you assigned me a partner and then that partner refused to work with me. And she went, no, well, too bad, 0. So I dropped the class. And that was the beginning of my descent to quitting college. Beef, peas, corn, potatoes, some noodles. Sounds good. I'm a little bit mixed about noodles and soup because they get gummy. I like, if I'm going to do like, you know, typical egg noodles that you put in soup, I usually like make them on the side and then add them to the soup when I'm done. That's BS? Oh yeah, it was absolutely BS. It sucked ass. Alright, so I think the main thing for us to work on right now is we're cleaning out this old aviary. I always forget if it's an aviary or an apiary. Aviary. We're clearing out this aviary so that we can grow mushrooms. Love not having to deal with college nonsense. Yeah. I shouldn't have gone to college, or I should have changed my major immediately, but I was so scared about the cost of college that I was like, well, I have these credits going in, I should just do this, because that'll get me the most free automatic credits. It was stupid. Apiary is for bees, yeah. An aviary is for mushrooms. Hi, Rosley. Nice to see you here for the first time. Hope you're doing well today. I believe you're a fellow streamer, right? I believe I met you through Flannel Fawn's channel. So everyone make sure you you go and check out, or is it Rosley? Is it Rosley or Rosley? I opened your thing to make sure I was following you, and I saw a bunch of roses. Sorry if I got it wrong. Just went to a place you had a scholarship to, and then wasn't aware that part of the scholarship was loans until 3 years in. Yeah. College is currently a massive fucking scam, unfortunately. All right, let's clear some let's clear some space for mushrooms. Neutral outcome 2 pings. Neutral outcome 2 pings. All right, let's re-roll my dice. Hey, there we go. 6. Positive outcome 3 pings. Okay, so it's a slight risk, but I think we'll go ahead and use the 4 and hope that we can get a positive or a neutral to finish this. Bam. Got it. Alright, now we can germinate spores. The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium into which you can place the spores from the groves. They'll grow well here. Unfortunately, I only have a 3 left. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to flood you with questions either. I'm so scatterbrained today. Several questions. Yeah, you're close with Fawn. Rosley is pronounced however you feel like, TBH. And yeah, you stream sometimes. All right. Twitch eats new lines. Sorry, that's hard to reach. No, you're fine. I wish it wouldn't do that. I get that it's to prevent people from spamming channels. But, like, if someone's spamming channels, you can just block them. I wish that it would let you do new lines. Okay. As long as you're happy with whatever, and then, yeah, everyone go and follow Rosley. Spam Miv. Spam. I love spam. I wish we had more spam. Me too. I mean, we still have one. We have that hot and something spam to try out. Hot and spicy, yeah. Thank you. Of course. I've been enjoying your posts on Blue Sky, so I'm glad I can meet you here too. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna risk it. Try to remember to pick you up some if you ever get back to Sam's, because they got bigger things of them. Ooh. That would be appreciated, Fox. Don't feel obligated, but, like, we go nuts for spam over here. You've seen the Hello Kitty spam in the wild, which keeps being funny? Yeah, we've got that. Made from real Hello Kitty characters. Give me spores. 2 spores. Okay, I think the thing... Nope, it just needs 1. Okay. Oh, no, no, no. I need 1 3 times. Okay. We'll have to finish that tomorrow. Appreciate it. Miv's mom occasionally sends us these things of gochujang spam that I go nuts for. Spam. Come on, Mivlia. Yeah, the gochujang spam, if you guys haven't had it, it's so good. Oh, it's so tasty. But I don't see it in stores. I've only ever seen it when Mom sends it to us. Alright. Let's go to sleep. Pre-spiced with gochujang? Yeah. Good dice. Okay. Whoops. Oh. I always panic when I did that I'm like, oh, did I accidentally hit sleep again? No. Hi, Ethan, you fuck. You're always wary of the flavored ones, but you do like some gochujang. I like the gochujang spam. I like the Korean barbecue spam. I really like the tocino spam. That's another one I don't see very often. I haven't tried the hot and spicy yet. The Hello Kitty is just reduced sodium. And I do generally prefer the reduced sodium spam because then I can season it up if I need to. Trying to think of other flavors. I'm not very big on the bacon spam. The turkey spam is fine, but I think it's not like flavored turkey. It's just made of turkey. Did I choose Sleeper Citizen? Yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I'm citizening. Kill him? I will try. You miss me? Ethan smiles a ragged smile at you. No? You look at him. He's paler than usual, hunched. He's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. That's no way to greet an old friend. Friend? Well, he pauses. Colleague? He smiles weakly. You tried to shoot me with a gun, sir. For anyone who hasn't been watching, the really quick and dirty is I'm a synthetic human. My brain is a copy of a fleshy human who's being kept in like cryostasis somewhere, but like with missing gaps because the copying process isn't perfect. And I have escaped my cyberpunk owners, and I have a tracker in me, and they sent this asshole to kidnap me and bring me home because I'm abandoned property. Or lost property or whatever, and that he's allowed to shoot me because they would rather my proprietary tech not get lost. Whatever, asshole. So yeah, I've been trying to get the tracker out of my head, and the person who's supposed to do that keeps getting distracted doing other stuff. But yeah, this guy was like, oh, okay, I won't kidnap you if you pay my bar tab. So we paid his bar tab once, and then we came back to pay it a second time, and he was drunk enough that the bartender stole his gun, took the bullets out of it, and we got into a fight, and then his contract got canceled because he took too long. So now he's fucked over, and obviously schlubby, and sucks to suck. Shouldn't have been a bitch. Hello Kitty spam being reduced sodium has interesting lore implications. Do they have any extra salty agretsuko spam? Hell yeah. Extra salty and extra spicy. This is like a weird RP setup. This is big. Really big stuff. About you. He seems more jittery than usual, on edge. You remember how S and ARP canceled the contract on you? The contract I was going to collect? I remember. Well, I'm guessing you were pretty happy about that shit. Overjoyed? Me. I lost everything. But let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. And so what did you think that was it? Oh, and so what did you think that was it? I was just glad to be done with you. Oh, the feeling was mutual, except... Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if old S and ARP gave the bounty to someone else. Someone who is even more of a shithead than yours truly. He smiles darkly. What a disaster that would be. Uh-huh. Who? Ethan grins. That's the question, isn't it? Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends, you see, some colleagues about what went down. Turns out that S&R canceled all their bounty contracts. The whole lot. Seems they've brought someone in-house. Some guy who did so well on their last contract that they offered a job. He leans in. This is a visual novel where you play as Kim instead of Harry Dubois. Nah, well, sort of. It's definitely very disco. It is very much about dice rolls and getting around. But I'd say we're probably halfway between Kim and Harry. Apparently he made a hit on the ship called the Winter Wonderland or something. It was smuggling sleepers out from under S&R's big corporate nose. He killed the crew and blew the ship up. Ethan whistles. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives you a piece of paper. I forget. Do you mean the Winterlight? That's it. He looks at you hard. So you do know about all this. He pats you on the shoulder. You'll be very happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hand through his greasy hair. Given this new information I've brought to light, seems you're in need of protection. Sir, you don't have your gun anymore, I don't think. Wait for the pitch. I meanwhile, am in need of assistance in kind. Turns out I upset some people at the compressor the last time we were there. The owners. And they said they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessman, he grimaces. I would pay them, but... He shrugs and turns his jacket pockets inside out in a mime of poverty. He looks pitiful, even more so for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad, the anger rising in him now, that I came here and told you this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You are a contract, a name on a list. He kicks a wall. Ethan rubs his temples. I'm sorry, he hisses. I'm sorry for being a shit and trying to kill you and whacking that thick skull of yours. He sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy? But us. He jabs a finger between the two of you. The two of you. We don't have a choice. So you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. We can help each other. A straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. I'll think about it. Ethan nods. I'm at the compressor. Every cycle. Working. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold-eyed S&R shit on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. I'm about to get my tracker turned off, Ethan. Look, have a good look, Hildy. Everyone make sure you go and check out Brunhilde. Hildy's another fantastic streamer. Oh boy, foreshadowing. Yeah. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulders. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. Fuck off. Let's see, you're at the compressor now? What do you want? Work the front or work the back to work off Ethan's debt? Turns out the compressor's owners are local gangsters. Now Ethan has to work off his debt if he wants to keep breathing. Well, there's no negative clock. Wash up, stock check, cleaning, prep, and work. Back work at the compressor is all bad smells, flickering lights, and hard scrubbing. Work the front, working the door, taking deliveries, staffing the bar. Front work at the compressor is a cocktail of shouted orders, alcohol, and violence. So, yeah, I can work off the debt by getting successes. It's dangerous work. Jesus Christ. You're always telling us what to do like she's in charge or something. I mean, I'm in charge of the stream. Shoutouts aren't working? Hold on. Firebot, did you crash? You crashed. Again? Hold on. Firebot. There we go. Come on. What are you doing? Do your job. Or I'm going to send you to the compressor. There we go. You can't firebot me, I quit bot. So true, so true. Okay, could we get a fresh shout out for Hildy and for Rosley, like a minute or two after that one? And for Specs, sure, why not? Specs should get shouted out too. Just give him enough breathing room to fade off stream first. Okay, so let's go across the way. Currently skimming the Wikipedia page for Essen, Germany. Interesting. What's brought you to that? Let's see. Okay, so I can use this 5 here to collect more spores. Guaranteed positive. Alright, that gives me enough spores to grow the spores. Fungal beds. Did that happen? Ah, here we go. Ah, and now they need 4 days to grow. Okay. The spores need time to germinate and spread in the aviary. The indirect sun of a few cycles should help them along. Essen ARP wanted to see if it was based on anything. Ah! I guess Essen, Space Edition, became a company town that merged with something else. I see. Makes sense. Alright, what to do with the rest of my dice? This is post-game. Or not post-game, late game. This is just gathering scrap and I can't even do it. Your current theory is that they're saying shorthand for an abbreviation like SNRP? Could be. I could work on becoming a member of the Haifa commune. I could work at the farm. I could go work up in the hub to make friends in the hub. Work for money. I could keep working for Rabaya. Caster's still not doing anything, right? Yeah. Stall. Just trying to remind myself of what pings I have to work on. Oh, right. Fang's done. Fang, please disable my tracker. Fang grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Haven Age have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. I keep, for people who are newish here, I keep reading this as Haven Age, but it's clearly, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Haven Age, but you'll hear me mispronounce it like 3 different ways. You think I'm halfway? Have Naj? Could be. Or Have Naj? Could be many pronunciations. Fang is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even get a chance to greet him. That was the safest operation this station has ever seen. He hugs you firmly. You made my job easy. He shakes you by the shoulders. I'm so proud. And, he smiles, I got to watch through the cameras as the Haven Age security that weren't in on it assaulted the station. Fang smiled. One of them straight up just whacked Hardin with a pistol. That was beautiful. What are they going to do with him? I'm not sure anyone knows, but he is cooperating in dismantling his operation and scaring off Conway. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Fang shrugs. Now I know he won't be an issue. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm going to be focusing on systems for a bit. He shakes his head, seeing as that's my actual job. Haven Edge? Yeah, maybe, but it's pronounced horse divorce, of course. Of course. Unless that horse divorce is, of course, the famous Mr. Ed. Alright. Hey, Fang. You know what your actual job is? Disable the tracker in my head like you promised a month ago. He points to the ceiling. The people upstairs weren't so happy, though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recordings got out. People are scared. Is it true? Fang looks at you directly. Not if we don't want it to be. He touches a stack of hardwire. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlen and Haven Age installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. Like Karaj? Not sure why, but that's your first thought? You want to... Oh, hold on. You want to pronounce it Havenage? Ah, like Karage. Okay. Interesting. I have no idea. Like it is definitely not Japanese. Havenage for you too? Could be. I mean, Cyberpunk is very overwhelmingly Japanese. Like, that's something that's a frequent trope in works of cyberpunk fiction. Carriage. Haven Age seems the most straightforward one. Yeah. But I have no idea. It could be anything. I wonder if they've... hold on. Citizen Sleeper. Maybe it'll say somewhere on the wiki. Nope. You're sold. Let's pronounce it as anything. Blame Neuromancer. The first third of the book has the protagonist just wandering aimlessly around a Japanese city. I'm actually curious about what all the influences are that led to it. I always assumed it was just like when works of cyberpunk fiction were being written, or at least like the really big ones. There was a lot of like, ooh, Japan's very interesting now in the era after World War II, and they're having a tech boom. Surely they'll become a tech giant sometime in the future, which they have to a degree. It's very, very interesting. Apparently there's a in real life British city with the same name pronounced Havenage. Interesting. And apparently a Haven Age is the dues paid for a port, so you wonder if it's coming from that. That's interesting. It could be Havenage from a British city, especially if this game was made by British people, or it could be Haven Age as a dues for a port, considering this is a big port up in the up in space. In Gibson's day, all the shiny tech came from Japan. Yeah. tons of different ways it could be pronounced. I love it. It's very interesting. I would love to hear from the devs. Maybe I'll post on the Steam thing later and see if there's like maybe a developer will respond to me. I've had a few times that developers have responded to me, so. Now it's mostly coming in from Taiwan, and Japan is more on the cultural exports than physical goods, but you see how you'd project that into the future? True. If a ton of people, different people on the station don't say it in the different ways, that's also possible. Could be possible that it's pronounced different ways by different people. Okay, but if you ask me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, no. He smiles. And me and a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. If it informs anyone's potential for the name, the Haven Age are the remnants of a workers' union who threw a revolution. So Hardin's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems and their ability to shape the world around them. Fang squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the ones running the systems, not the other way around. You're so right, Fang. Anyway, Fang raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come down here for a lecture. My tracker? Fang, please. Ethan stopped by this morning, said a scarier, more competent person is after me. I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish that code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNRP where you are, it transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNRP your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, right? That's perfect. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand, then close your eyes and open up your access ports. Take down your defenses. And die!
Myth help the DMV success.
I'm sorry, Blood. There's nothing I can do about the DMV. Thank you so much for the 52 months. I really appreciate you. But, yeah, no, the DMV does suck ass. By design, I'm sure. It's so weird to me. So, 49 out of the 50 U.S. states, to the best of my knowledge, have the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles. But I grew up in Indiana, which has the BMV, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. So I am always having to stop myself from saying BMV when people are talking about the DMV. Why don't I control the DMV? Because you people haven't given me enough power yet. Give me more power. Relinquish it all to me. And I will reshape this world to have slightly more competent bureaucracy. A lot of sci-fi of that era is this 5-year period will last forever. Yeah, that's so true. One fascinating effect of this is that both Battletech and Cyberpunk 2077 lore have the Soviet Union lasting way longer than in our timeline. Like the Soviets are still a thing in 2077 in Cyberpunk. Yeah, that makes sense. God, if only. Well, that's what you gotta do. Make me God. The punk skunk God. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. So the lesson of Citizen Sleeper is that having worms is good for you. You open your eyes. How do you feel? How do you feel? Asks Fang a little nervously. The same. Give it time. He pats you on the shoulder and looks at his terminal screen. Logs tell me it worked. So, feel it or not, you're free. Worm off of its string. What will he... Oh, excuse me. What will he do? What will a worm do with no string to contain? How else would we explore deep space and navigate its many folds? So true. Making it the opposite of Baldur's Gate 3, where the lesson is worms are bad for you? Yes. Opposite moral stances between these two RPGs. Fang lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Fang wraps up his arms around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. As you walk away from the building, you look up at at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than breathtakingly beautiful. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can or even should last forever, or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and it is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Boop, upgrade point. Oh, I can show everyone what I look like, too. That's me. You get to pick at the start of the game between 3 mostly identical looking individuals with slightly different starting perks. But this is the one that I went with. Is this a repurposed cryo ship? No, this is a spaceport of some point. So we're in a setting where FTL travel is normal, but not so. The profits of such haven't materialized into a more like Star Trek-y or even Star Wars-y universe. Things are still pretty rough. Yeah, you got a little helper robot. Yeah, we got a little drone. We are the interfacer, which has a little drone buddy in their art. Maybe the real Citizen Sleeper was the naps we took along the way. So true. Yeah, I don't want to do anything with 1 point. I wonder if I'm eventually going to get enough skill points to max out my tree. But yeah, I don't care about photosynthetic skin or being better at enduring or getting these. So I'm going to save up and grab probably self-repair or maybe one of the +2s eventually. But yeah, it's the scrolling, it's a big ring, so we can't go further past this because the ship is broken. But we've got, this is a shipyard, and then this is like a bunch of containers, some more shipyards for people to come and drop off like smaller docking. Then this is like a residential district. Oh, Ethan's got more to say to me. Haha. Get fucked, Ethan. And then we've got this spire, which if you go up of it, has this area that's called the hub. And you can kind of, it'll let me rotate and show you the whole ship now. So yeah, you can see, here's a spot where the ring got broken. And then rotate though. Another place where it's broken. And then here's the like, they called this the Greenway, but this is where they were like growing crops and stuff. And then another big, mostly unutilized area. Whoops, no. I don't want to work on this. I want to go back down. Going down, down. Okay. Hey, Ethan, I disabled my tracker. What do you think about that? The compressor is almost... One sec. Oh, there we go. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods, and you return the greeting. You know already that you won't find Ethan here, but you have to be sure. With your tracker reporting you dead, he wouldn't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on that when his slate chirps, letting you know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine the screaming and swearing too. Is that all you were to Ethan? Another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question to ask when he has fled the station, but it bothers you anyway. You take one last look and walk out. You doubt this place will ever come back. You doubt you will ever come back to this place or the memory it holds. You walk back out into the lights of the bright market and allow yourself to smile. So this is what Fang meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. Alright, so yeah. I don't even get the option anymore to work off Ethan's debt. Fuck him. Goodbye. Fuck that guy, yeah. I might play another playthrough, especially if I intend to 100% this, to just see like what the path is like if instead of following Fang, you work with Ethan. Surely there will be no consequences for this. That's true. There could still be consequences. The game could still smack me in the back of the head some way or another. It is that kind of game. Alright, so my mushrooms are growing. Ethan's taken care of. I can't help Fang anymore. That's all resolved. I think at this point, I need to pick a new direction to go on. Let's look at my... Yeah. I need to find a place to plant this data seed. No idea where to do that. I need to... Okay, I think we're coming back. Alright. Yeah, that looks stable. Alright, well, yeah. Return of the Skunk. Hi, Mozelle. How you doing? Yeah, the stream got eepy. So I don't know what's going on, but for the past week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that, OBS has been shitting out 2 or 3 times per stream. And originally I thought it was because, like, when this problem started, it was storming real bad. And I was like, oh, the storm's futzing with our internet, you know, that's how it goes. But no, it's been sunny and clear. Excuse me. I don't know if it's Twitch or if it's OBS, but it's just like, I'm losing it hard for like a minute or two, a couple times a stream. Eurokey, me, I'm doing okay. You know, grieving Tim Curry, and Dolly Parton still. But like, other than that, I'm doing pretty decent. You know, trying to focus on the silver linings, like, you know, Dolly's charities have gotten a big flood of attention and money, which is great. Mom was texting me earlier. We were talking about, you know, the passing celebrities. And just to get onto a cheerier note, she sent me a picture of herself, and she's got, like, a nice big red dress with flower patterns on it. I don't want to tell her that it looks like an old lady dress, but it's an old lady dress. But it's nice. It's a nice old lady dress. And she was talking about she was at the grocery store, and some 4-year-old girl got really excited and started, like, pestering her mom. And when her mom was like, what is it, honey? Pointed at my mom and went, look at that lady. Which my mom says she's choosing to take as a positive, and I think so too. I think when kids point at you in a store, that's, you know, they're curious and they're excited. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, I'll show you the picture later, Mozelle. The picture of my mom. But yeah. Magic data machines break sometimes. It's Cyberpunk or something. Yeah, that's true. We live in a we live in a cyberpunk hellscape. Where's my cyber body? Where's my cyber titties? I want to be able to make them bigger on the fly. Where's my chainsaw arm? That's what I need. All right, so I was saying we're basically at the point where we need to explore a new location. We can explore the commune. We can explore the eye, the hub, which is going to be a lot of merchants. We got the shipyard that I've put one ding in. I'm going to snooze the ads for 5 minutes because we got stuck there for a second. Or we can keep working for the local gangs, the Yatagan, which I'm a little interested in persisting with because the doctor who's giving me my injections had been working for them and had fled them. And I feel like if I want to continue that story, I need to work with the gangs temporarily. I also need to buy food. Okay. So I can also get some free energy by patrolling, which would mean I don't need to eat. Working with the gang sounds pretty punk. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna patrol the ward. Oh, look at that. Free food. You help a dentist running a surgery from their unit with their equipment. They offer you a restorative infusion and you feel better immediately. We get some free pings. Let's re-roll my dice. Ah, beautiful. Hi, Bard. Welcome in. Okay, well, I don't need the extra healing, so I think I'll go collect tithes. One mechanic tithes a new filtration system for the... Oh, that's right. This is an engage action, so I'm going to heal anyways. One mechanic tithes a new filtration system for the block's atrium, and after you help install it, he offers you some of the remaining scrap. I think it's interesting that they phrase this as collect tithes, which really puts you in the mind of, like, give me the protection money. Or, like, you owe the family. But it really does seem to be... Go help somebody install something and they'll give you the leftovers. Alright, let's do that again. Because I don't need the energy. I'd rather have more scrap components. Alright. Unfortunately, it's the same text every time, but... Alright, we are slowly pinging our way up as an Yatagan insider. We are getting scrap components. And something is happening. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In a quiet corridor, away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with a suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is the word Sleeper. Mutual aid air conditioners, something, something. Yeah. Excuse me. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. It explodes. You are dead. Game over. Start a new file. Right. Sabine's voice. Sabine is the doctor that was helping me out, that I helped out. Sleeper. Sabine's voice crackles through. I've seen you with the Yatagan members. Are they holding you captive now? A high whine. I'm sorry if I dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang. Some kind of power struggle. You cover the speaker in it a little. Their voice is too loud in the quiet corridor. I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time, a pause. I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you have heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An S&ARP employee. Do they know that I know? Do you struggle with a mix of concern and distrust? I'm not... The game is saying that I don't trust them because they used to work for S&ARP, but come on. They're out here. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure who to trust, and head quietly out of the low end. Interesting. Is that going to put a clock somewhere? Doesn't give me a new drive. I'm not seeing a new clock. I'm surprised there's not more negative clocks in this game. I was expecting to have to, like, constantly be doing maintenance on the eye to keep it from falling apart. Alright, I guess the main thing I have to do maintenance on is myself. We're out of dice. I've got energy. Let's go to sleep. I am going to go down to 3 dice tomorrow. Let's feed the stray again, why not? Oh, we're getting raided and the ads are trying to start. Let's snooze the ads again. Raid, 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 raid. Hello, raiders. Hello, raiders. My name is Mivlia. I am the trans punk skunk extraordinaire. This is my venue. I'm a variety streamer. I stream whatever I want, whenever I want. Right now we are doing Citizen Sleeper, a RPG, visual novel, dice roller. Hello, Orion. How have you been? It's always good to see you. Everyone go follow Orion Starbeard, a fantastic artist and streamer. You can see some of their art over on Blue Sky as well. And hello, Jack. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Aw, shucks. Hey, we always shout out cool people here, and you're a cool person. How you guys doing? What were you up to? I missed the little pop-up on my own screen. What were you guys playing? Alright, we fed the stray kitty cat. We're going to go to sleep. We're going to go down to 3 dice, unfortunately. I don't think I want to waste an injection. I'm going to wait until I'm around 3 dice. Playing some Lunar Silver Star Story. Last boss absolutely ate your lunch. Oh no. I've not heard of that one. I hope it's good. I hope you had a good time. Despite having your lunch eaten. And I have so much data too. I wish I could use this data for something. Okay, I guess. So we can either... Well, let me go check on my mushrooms. I don't think they're ready yet. I think they've got a few more days. The boss pulled on your heartstrings? Oh no. Story reasons or big scary individual? I do love me a boss that's big and scary and makes me blush. Alright, I think... Is there anything going on in the data world that I can use the data on? Not that I'm aware of, so let me go back over here to the Greenway. To my knowledge, the Greenway is still completely shadowed. I've finished this. There's nothing over here. And then if I go back across the way, everything that at least the past few times that I've gone and checked the data world, it's just been agents to hack. Yeah, which just gets me more data. I can sell Haven Age data to the Yadigan for like a little bit of money. So there's that. But I haven't found anything else to do with Yadigan data yet. Check up in the big circle. Yeah, I can go back up the big circle. But I believe all the stuff here is just, yeah, there's just plot bits. Nothing else going on up here right now. Go back down. Whee! So, I'm sure I'll have uses for it eventually. Worth checking? Yeah, worth checking. Alright, let's continue working for the gangs. Let's do this one so that I can refill my energy bar for free. Why not? Who needs food when dentists can give you injections? I love dental injections. Reroll my dice. Okay, yeah, that gives me 5s. Got some scrap. Got some more scrap. And then I don't want to risk biffing stuff with this one. Can I hack someone with this one? One thing I really like about this game is so your weak dice have a pretty big chance of failing things. But also, weak dice are generally pretty good at being used to hack people. Yeah. So I'll get some more Yataghan data. Alright, that was a short day. Back to sleep. Fun game. It is. I'm really enjoying it. The sequel came out earlier this year, last year, something like that. So I'm going to have to try that out after this. Maybe not directly after, but... Alright, let's do... let's do one last snooze since we've got guests. And then we'll do our ad break in a little bit. Okay, leave. Is there anything new? Tomorrow, I'll be able to buy the last ship mine fragment I need to finish repairing the ambergris. Nothing there. I think the only other thing I've got going on at the moment is to finish up at Rabia's office. Okay. So let's use our 6. Patrol the ward. Energy's topped up. Use this 5. Collect tithes. Alright. The clock is complete. This time you meet inside Rabia's office. Although now you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretches. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, but it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. Just be careful not to start up the endgame content too early and messed up your last run accidentally. Oof. Is that the taking the mushrooms to the flotilla? This one? Flotilla aid? Or is there a different thing that triggers the end game? Excuse me. Big stretch. When Rabia turns to greet you, you realize she's missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of colored wires running into it. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where her artificial arm usually is. Nothing to worry yourself with. Of course. Sit. Can't remember, you think so? It's the stuff all the way at the top. Yeah. Yeah, that's the flotilla thing. Yeah. I am nervous by what it means by late game, since this is my first run ever, so I'm definitely going to put it off as long as I can, until I feel like there's nothing else to explore. Sit, says Rabia, gesturing on to the 2 diminutive stools. You both settle on the stools, Rabia crossing her legs on top and sitting straight-backed. Jaya told me you have been doing the rounds, collecting tithes, patrolling the ward. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed, and I hear you handled a few difficult circumstances. Nicely done. I wanted to help. And you did. She closes her eyes for a moment. I hope you can see how things work here now. A strong Yataghan means a strong low end. Both are woven into each other. I know that for you, life on the Eye has been a struggle, but I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members may not see it that way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. That's why you have to come to us. Am I going to have to make a decision? Enough, Rabia. Sabine's voice cuts through the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. They cross the room, Rabia's baton in their hand, the end lit with sparking electricity. Rabia looks between the 2 of you. I suppose this ambush was another cooperation between you 2? She looks strangely unfazed. I'm going to stay silent. Sabine pauses, thrown off by your silence. Rabia takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine... Sabine, you didn't tell me that we were going to attack Rabia together. You should have expected this. Maybe if you talked to me. Rabia takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool and, fainting past Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inward. She is by far the stronger, and she pushes Sabine to their knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards their chest. They freeze there, Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from their skin. Stop! Then you support them? Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I'm realizing their voices are a little too close to each other. Oh well. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia, Sabine spits back. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong, and for a moment you think she's about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, then spins the baton in her hand, thumbing a switch and shutting it off in a single move. Rabia, explain? They both look at you, still catching their breath, as if they had forgotten about about your presence. Explain what? How the moment I call my enforcer... How the moment I call, my enforcers will come down here and take them away? Rabia cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have had every right, she shouts, the anger a release of tension more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little, bruised from the fall. They roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space, sitting back on their stool. Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it. This is your final opportunity, because after this, he laughs. There's no coming back. What's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. She refuses to listen to criticism of the great Yadigan project. Rabia collects herself. Speak. She folds her arms and waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organizing their thoughts. They go to start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say it. Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. But she rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them, at least for now. When I came here from SNARP, they glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was the one to first support me, to look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper. They take a breath. I know that I should have told you I worked for SNARP long ago, but I thought you would abandon me, and you are my final friend. What you should know is that I left SNARP because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the Sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. SNARP wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could, to this refuge at the edge of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does this have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. The Sleeper knows you're SNARP. I told them. And while you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the Sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Sabine's face falls. This is true. They glance at you and then away, ashamed. They lift their head. But it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNARP. Rabia flinches again. I can prove it. He made some kind of deal to keep me here, to tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rabia slams her hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake. In exchange for those, Sabine finishes, nodding towards Rabia's prosthetic arm in its cradle. He has been using Yadigan enforcers, using you, as test subjects for SNARP technology. I have the data to prove it. He has been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments and having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rabia's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rabia. They could short out, fail, causing cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. I have tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them. They stop, unable to continue. Rabia closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them again. She holds out a hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later, much later, when you leave, Sabine is still taking Rabia through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal as Sabine leads Rabia through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eye, and something passes between you. Something like a thank you or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. Alright. Now, I'm out of snoozes, and the ads are about to start. So, I'm going to run the ads. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Have a good stretch. And thanks again, Orion, for the raid. See you guys soon. And we're back. Thank you all for waiting through the ad break. Okay, so we are going to have to make some new decisions. Probably work on the commune now. Can't think of anything else that currently needs our attention. Tomorrow I'll be able to get that last bit of ship mined, but I think once again we need to explore a location, and of the locations we have to explore, the commune is the one that's most interesting to me. So we can get a good amount of rep from either direction, so we'll use the engage one. That's 100% positive. After seeing you prepare the food, the grow bed workers invite you to share a meal with them. The conversation flows warmly and freely. 3 pings. I would need 4 sets of 3 pings. Ah, that's a 1. Oh, new drive. Join the Haifa commune. The Haifa commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Volunteer at the commune. Maybe. Okay, back to the hacking interface. Let's hack this Yadigan agent. I hope at some point the game gives me something to do with all this extra data. I really thought that maybe Caster would just refresh and let me keep doing his stuff, but no. Yeah, end the cycle. Oh, those are some good dice. Starting soon, I'm going to need to start getting bigger and better dice. Or starting, sorry, I don't know why I said that. I'm going to need to refresh my dice. I don't know why I said bigger and better. My brain is on autopilot. Alright, let's work at the commune. Okay. Refuel my energy, and then let's try working the grow beds. The grow beds are at the heart of the commune, feeding the workers and fueling the lab work. You're invited to assist in maintaining them. Maybe I'll get a little, like a permanent item of some sort. The beds are slower than, no, this is also at energy. The beds are slower than the stacks. They reward patience, not just effort. As you finish the canteen, workers bring out food for your cycle. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to be able to pop this. A little bit of energy is going to be wasted, but that's fine. Finish working the grow beds. There we go. Communist. Communist, noun. Someone who joins a commune. Alright, so the Haifa commune is still here. Commune members are expected to turn up for work assignment, and in return, their needs will be met. All are treated equally. Okay, a little more random than previously. Haifa dorm. Oh, I have a third bedroom. I'm going to get all the houses, Skyrim style. 20 houses, and I never spend a minute in any of them. Alright, and Rico. Commune botanist. New person. Head of Haifa botany. You head down into the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that is labeled laboratories. Then, the member you are assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what about. Moves unlocking her inner Skyrim lord. I don't rent the properties, I just own them. I just hold on to them. Just in case, you know? The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Let's see. Peaceful, isn't it? Something like this. A little bit of just a slight twang to it. I think that's different from the voices I've done so far. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you miss the woman standing at the lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary. She smiles. Come, let's talk, she says and beckons you closer. Is this going to be the first time we ever actually ask someone for their name? I have thought it's been very interesting that the game just is like, you know their names. It's posted on the left of the screen. You're looking through the rules of Shadowrun and realize that instead of buying one nice lifestyle, you could buy the really cheap one several times over and become an orc slumlord. That's hilarious. Oh, that's something I should play at some time. I've played a single real life game of Shadowrun, but I should try out the video games at some point because I've got them. I think Emmy tried one of the Shadowruns. I don't remember which one though. Oh no, they're cute. Oh no. Who are you? Of course, my apologies. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Rico. I run the botany program at Haifa. You got very confused the first time you tried the video games, but went back and played the first one again like a year ago and had a fantastic time. What's cute? Maybe this is true. Well, I mean, Emmy was talking about Rico, but yes. I'm also cute. But Emmy gets to see me every day. Been meaning to try the others, but haven't gotten to them yet? Yeah, I'm sure you will at some point. What's Haifa? She looks surprised. We've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. She lifts a tiny sample jar, yellow spores dancing inside. Haifa lives off the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to do what we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here, we feed each other, we work for each other. Rico walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is kind of a miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they're abandoned? They die? Eventually, yes. They cannot live without intervention. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they've endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as an extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try and reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner systems, and small-scale agricultural systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet, here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. Of course you like her, Emmy. She's just like Teacher Ulawa. When Haifa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rico hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It's every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It's wet, too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds, the lights from the high glass roof, and gathers on shiny, broad leaves of shrubs. How? That's exactly our question. Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system's stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us. Or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade and unlocked the chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rico sits on the railing. These halls run deep, Sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating on the walkway. Whatever's causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Haifa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make my case, but I won't get the votes. You Sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much. And you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so that you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in my lab and study them. The deeper they're found, the better. I will try. Thank you, she smiles. Thank you for listening. Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She's a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back on the bench in this lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, Sleeper, she calls. There's discoveries to be made. And you follow the blue line back to the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Green. Alright, Haifa's labs, and we got a new thing, help Rico's experiments. Deliver spores. Rico has asked for samples of spores from deep groves in the Greenway. With them, she might be able to understand how the biosphere functions. Rico needs spores to study the strangely resilient biosphere that has formed around the Greenway. How is this place thriving? Well, I've got one for you. I will go get some more. Reroll? Okay, a 4 pumps up to a 5. Positive. Nice. Okay, we get 2 more spores, which means we can go ahead and do this clock. Bam. Sleeper, Rico greets you without so much as looking up from work. I have some of yours here. Come look. She beckons you over to a heavyweight-looking console wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? Spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I've been able to isolate a few. He taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Trichiloma Matsutake. Riku breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it were nothing. She certainly did. A species Solheim somewhat modified to use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Modified? Yes. Every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of a Solheim's, of course, but that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout, but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsutake spores look like. I don't understand. Look at the composition. They're totally different. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked version in the beginning, but the grows have, and still are, affecting them. You're so sad? Oh no, what's wrong? Move still sleeping, huh? I am. And I will continue to sleep forever. Hi, Woe. Tim Curry? Yeah. Yeah. The loss of Tim Curry is really rough. The loss of Dolly Parton yesterday is really rough, too. It's been a sad week, but we have to endure and just remember the good things about them and do our best. Grieve as we must. I really love Tim Curry. My donate when someone donates to me on Ko-fi, it does the I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space. Watched Muppet Treasure Island in his honor? Hell yeah. It hurts because the man made up your childhood? Completely fair. It is completely fair that it hurts, and you know, do what you need to grieve. Go, yeah. Do like Whoa. Go watch a movie later tonight if you can. You been feeling the same way about it? Yeah. Yeah. At least we can, you know, he lived a nice long life, 80 years. He's beloved. It hurts, but at least it wasn't, you know. You got a full life out of him. Gonna watch Rocky Horror Picture Show? That sounds great. You definitely do that. For now, though, we watch Miv. Yeah. She'll sing show tunes for us. I don't know if I can do that. I'll read you more text from Citizen Sleeper. Affecting them how? Hard to tell without samples of fully grown mushrooms. She meets your eye, and herein lies a problem. She moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it, the pungent aroma of the fruiting matsutake, like rotting, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. The matsutake here are grown from Solheim stalks, pulled from a spore vault in the complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty trays germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination. Nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you realize how much she is enjoying this. So here's our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the lab, but gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become a mushroom farmer. Actually, pushes up my glasses. I already started. This is one of the few times I wish I had a real life camera, because I definitely did the anime push up my glasses right there. Maybe the secret ingredient is people. Bum bum bum. Rico looks impressed. Well, an eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever grows, not just Matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. So he plucks a Matsutake cap from the tray. I'll bring you those mushrooms, Rico. However, I also need to bring them to the chef that calls me boss. All according to to Cake. Wow, where'd my brain go? Keikaku doesn't even have cock in it. Well, anyway, these things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry, it all derives from the conditions of their growth. She smells the cap. Enough of these and we'll have a picture of what is happening here. Of the ways in which the biosphere is modifying itself, or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico pops the Matsutake cap in her mouth, taking you by surprise. Right, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. I'll eat all of them. Oh, cool. My mushrooms will be ready tomorrow. Okay, so she wants one Matsutake cap or Giroye cap. Each one will give me fruiting bodies progress. Rico needs mushrooms grown in the aviary to study. She'll accept Giroye caps, but Matsutake caps are better. The pale and delicate Giroye mushrooms are more abundant than the Matsutake, but Rico says they still help. The rich and pungent Matsutake caps are Rico's preferred subject of study, something about the environmental sensitivity. Okay, well, we will give her mushrooms. Why is it pinging? Oh, it's got a yellow thing because I finally... Interesting. Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. Well, okay, so we know where the seed will eventually be planted. For now, it's time to go to eepy by. And I could sleep here at the commune. However, I want to make use of the house that I took the time to build. And I want to feed the kitty cat. Well, I wonder if that ever does anything, or if it's just, like, literally a place to throw my money away. Okay. Yep. I think I'm going to let it ping down a couple days on 3 before I use the stabilizer, because I don't have an easy access to another stabilizer yet. Okay. Alright. Nice. We're down to... Hey, look, exactly all the rest of my money. Alright. Now we can go and put these together at the Ort Fabricator. Ort. It's okay. If I need money, I can sell scrap. Okay. Hello, ambergris. Ship mine core. There we go. Another upgrade point. I've got 4 now. Oh, wow. I must have, like, popped multiple goals simultaneously. Okay. I could get a +2 in something. Or I could get the ability to repair my condition with scrap. Let's do that. And the next time I get a point, I'll get a +2. Fuck enduring. All my homies hate enduring. Alright, Akita. You drop the ship mine core onto the galley table with an emphatic bang. Akita spins around from where she's been poring over some documents on her slate. Holy shit, Sleeper. Did you actually land a ship mine? She rushes over and hefts the huge cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well, shit. Might actually work. She smiles wider than you've ever seen. Where'd you get it? I built it. Built it? Well, you're full of surprises. Akita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new ship mine. The sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita when she's this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the ship mine on the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can. Might need your help with some of it. She heads back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma's finally coming in. She throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. See a list of names and numbers. Nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. I found them. The thieves? Exactly. Well, the thief. Singular. She points to a name on the list. Or more specifically, Ashton Cade. It was his past that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mine. I thought he might have been killed or robbed. His past stolen. Turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap the very next cycle. How do you know? I know some of the crew at that ferry. Old Mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook, and they mentioned they saw Ashton crossing. I checked the manifest, and there he was. Looks suspicious. He hasn't said a word since the theft, and anyone wanting to hide out might head to the Greenway and go to ground. She flexes. He won't get far, though. There's no real docks out there. Only a couple of jetties in the wastes. So what now? Now, I fit the ship mine. That's the first priority. She pauses. But maybe you could help me out. Sure. How? It's like this. I head over there, especially in Amber. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you? Ashton doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there and sniff around. Not at the commune, not the stacks. He'll have gone to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashton likes. You see him, you locate him, ping me on this. She hands you a comm earpiece. Seeing as this is merc work, I'll be happy to give you merc pay. She shifts in her seat. Thing is, I haven't got much left. So how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab the coward, I'll pay up. 200 cryo, nothing less. Well, I would have liked that discount a lot earlier in the game. I've already paid for the ferry. What do you say? Or what do you say? She meets your eye. Okay, I mean 200 cryo is still good. She gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good, I owe you. She lifts the ship mine and up onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm going to go get this fitted into Amber's core. You get any info, any sense of where Ashton's hiding, let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. Once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Akita stomps off into the guts of the Amber with the ship mine, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending at what is to come. You never thought you'd get work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. Alright, so that's done. We got a new quest. I guess real quick. Yeah, I can now self-repair. How much do I get out of a scrap? 1. Okay. Well, I'm still going to go ahead and just use all of my scrap that I currently have on healing. Well, actually, how much do I get for selling it? $12. So a stabilizer is better if I get, let's see, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. I'm currently getting a discount, so 6 scrap. So if I'm getting at least 6 pings. Probably good for keeping me at above a level so I don't have to use the whole thing. But probably on the whole, I should probably be buying or using it for money. I think what I'll do is I'll hold on to it and I'll use it to keep me up after I've repaired with the stabilizer. A little wasteful, but that's okay. I'll have 4 dice tomorrow, which will be nice. As for right now, Rabia's office will have something tomorrow. Can I retroactively get the discount? Maybe doing math scary. She's quite good at it. I am good at math. I got a 5 on my AP calculus exam. Now, a lot of that stuff's gone, but in general, I'm pretty decent at math. I mean, no, I'm stupid. Blep. Harvest mushrooms. Oh, I have to do work. 2 random rare mushrooms or 1 Giroye cap. The fruiting bodies are appearing. Giroyes are easy to find, but Matsutake and other stranger types require extra effort. Take your pick. I can do this 3 times, and then the mushrooms will be gone. Alright, I got Matsutake Clubhead. Okay, let's reroll my dice. Those are worse. I'm going to wait until I have better dice. Your immersion is shattered. Interesting. Can I do anything with club heads? No. How many Matsutakis does Elphys need? Scroll. Or Emphys, that's his name. 2. Okay. Is there anything I can do with a 1 and a 2? Can I maybe, like, get some energy out of the commune? Sure. Let's try that. Alright, neutral outcome. I topped up my energy. I'll take that. And then I have... Oh, this is new. Wild margins. Oh, this is where I need to look for the guy. Interesting. Okay. 8 pings to track him. Search for signals. Rather than hiking around the wilderness, you could make use of your skills, tap into the cloud, and find Ashton by his signals. 3 pings on a success, -3 energy on a fail. Or look for tracks. Seems like the obvious way to track someone, but in this overgrown tangle, the simple task is becoming difficult. Dangerous, +2 tracking, -1 condition. So much better to try and search for his signal. But not either one something I want to do with a 1 die. Safe activity won't hurt anything in theory? Yeah, if it's a safe, I think even on a fail, I don't have any penalty. I could do some safe work for a little bit of money, I guess, because I can't think of anything else to do. Negative outcome, $6. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to sleep. Alright, I'll have 4 dice tomorrow, which will be good. And then I can start thinking about how long I want to go until I heal. That's a pretty good roll. Alright. Oh, okay, so we've got talk to Rabia. I should probably do that first. Just in case. Okay. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing, Rabia calls out to you as you enter. I wanted to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Ah, hell yeah. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Good to meet you. Likewise. He waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabbi places a hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. She doesn't spare a look. What's going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They've shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I heard the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I could use them, he suddenly decides. Rabia smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? What kind of work? A question. Yannick lowers his head and raises it again, as if he dropped something. Nothing new from you. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? That concludes it. That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward, anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. It swapped over to Rabia, so I assumed Rabia was the one talking, but no. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy to work there with... Good, I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Ow! Don't bunk me!
Good girl. Good girl. Who's a good girl? You are. Yes, you are.
Hi, Yarny! Yarny. Everyone, I'm sure you all already know Yarny Land, but go and follow Yarny. Yarny's a fantastic streamer, extremely talented. Big stretch. How you been enjoying Mortal Shell, Yarny? I know nothing about the game except the caked up armor.
Stretch, you gotta say big stretch. Every time I do a big stretch,
You know that's the rule. It's been a blast. Hell yeah. I saw when I rated you, it was the armor with the big booty. When I saw a Key post about it, it was the armor with the big booty.
nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. No one. The cake is legendary. Hell yeah. Alright. Let's get back to this. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabia, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned and confused, you leave. I'm sure this is a plan of some sort. Yeah, expose Yannick. If Sabina's right, Yannick has been working with S and ARP behind Yadigan's back, trying to get Yannick's trust. And that's going to be here at Yannick's ward. Low end main block. You been hearing good stuff? Cool. Alright, so we can gain Yannick's trust by taking engage actions here. The massive block at the center of the low end is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling the vertical city is a challenge. Well, I will do that later. I'm more interested in mushroom farming. Bashamivlia loves mushrooms. Okay. Harvesting mushrooms. 100% positive chance. Womp. 2 more Matsutakis. Womp. Another Matsutake and 2 club heads. And now we're out of mushrooms. Spore Catcher. Put those sample collecting skills to good use. Alright. So now we could do important botanical research, or I could give them to the chef man so that we could eat a new type of food. You mushrooms, not a fan? It's okay, you and Emmy both. Emphas mentioned an old recipe for Matsutake broth. All he needs are 2 handfuls of Matsutake caps, freshly sourced. Here you go, buddy. Give me soup. Oh, that's right. He needs time to actually cook them. Because Emmy's smart. Emmy is smart. Alright, well, while he makes soup... Alright, Matsutake cap. 3 pings. Matsutake cap. 3 pings. Okay, I imagine the Giroye give me like a single ping each. So the thing now is I need some spores. I can use this 4. That'll give me a 5. That's good enough. Ah, 1 spores. Alright, reroll. 4 gives me another 5. Can I win this coin flip? Yeah. Alright. It's weird that this one is provides 1 spore 3 times and not provide 3 spores once. Alright. In 4 days I'll have more mushrooms. Do I have enough upgrade points? I should have done this first. Okay. So, what do we want to be the best at? Engineering, interfacing, intuiting, or engaging? I'm kind of thinking Intuit. I think that's the best. Let's grab that. I'm so good at intuition. Alright, I'm out of dice. Intuiting seems to be our social stat. Yeah, in a lot of situations. Okay. Yeah, I can turn off this ping. I don't think I need this anymore. Hey. Sleeping time. Yeah, let's throw $3 more to the cat. The stray crunches up the crackers as you watch. Sometimes they'll let you strike them, sometimes not. Kibbity. Crackers for kitties. Alright. Meow? Yeah. That's what we spent $3 to crack up some crackers and feed them to a kitty. That's what you like, Yarny, right? Plain crushed up crackers. Delicious. Do I want a stabilizer? I think I'm gonna take a few days and decay, and then I'll heal up. And then I can start using scrap to maintain myself at 5. You mean saltines are yummy? Saltines are tasty. I loved, there's a restaurant near where my parents live, not Culver's, but it's something like Culver's, because I always mix those two up. But it's just kind of like a, general restaurant. But the thing that always wowed me is if you ordered soup, they would bring out this little thingy and put it on your table, and it was like 10 different types of soup crackers. So you had oyster crackers, you had like 3 different types of saltines, and just like, I don't know what, I have to assume that someone who owned the restaurant just cared very deeply about soup crackers, but like, it was crazy, so many different crackers. You had a cat who really liked snacking on goldfish. That's cute. I like pouring goldfish into a tomato soup. I don't like them very much on their own. They're a bit bland on their own. Flavor blasted are good on their own. Okay. So I have to wait on the mushrooms. So I guess the thing is, do we want to work for Yannick or do we want to track that guy? I feel like tracking that guy. I made the scary mercenary lady wait long enough. Wild margins. So we get better off of interface here, which is fine. Let's do this. It's gonna give me 3 pings. Yep. Do it again. Parm crisps and tomato soup are also very good. Ah, oh, yes, that sounds so good. I made grilled cheese and tomato soup earlier this week, and I was, hyped for it because I like dipping a grilled cheese in a tomato soup, and it was still good, but there were 2 minor issues. One, there's an area on our pan where the nonstick is a little worn off. So my first half of the grilled cheese sandwiches got shredded, unfortunately. Even though I buttered them, there just wasn't enough lube in the pan with the nonstick being gone. And then we got Kroger store brand tomato soup, which is just extra wet ketchup. It was so disgustingly sweet. It was not good tomato soup. Like, like this isn't me being a fancy pantsy. Like, I like Progresso's like canned tomato soup, but I was like, oh, this is fine. This is the store brand is cheap. Oh no, Miv. Yeah, I made a mistake. It was just wet ketchup. It was fine. It was just a bit disappointing. Oh, cool. I rerolled a 1 into another 1. I don't feel like I can gamble a 1 on this, so. Your fault. You're the one who noticed the store brand and suggested we try it. What a fool you were. It's all good. Gamba. But if I gamba and fail, then I'll lose energy. Graham loves saltines, but he makes a big mess, so we don't give him super often. That's true. Graham will just bite on a chip over or a chip. Well, yeah, a chip or a saltine over and over and over and just destroy it. Yeah, we'll gamble on something safe. You know, something that has no risk of anything going wrong. Like operating a heavy crane. As we all know, it is completely safe to operate freight. Nothing can go wrong when I'm operating freight. Womp. Here you go, munch, crunch, munch, crunch, crunch. Yeah, it's true. Neutral outcome, $10. Hooray! In retrospect, I should have done something that would give me energy. I need food, and this food store is it still available? No, I can't. Whoops, he's making soup, so I can't eat. I could have actually gone here, and I would have had a 3 on playing Tavla. That might have been the better move. I have data I can sell. Mingy, can I buy food from you? Oh, they brought back express delivery. That's good. Unfortunately, I can only work for food here. The Overlook Bar. There we go. I can buy rations here. Oh man, I feel ashamed. I'm buying the food that they keep at the bar to legally have food. Get a drink? Sure, why not? We're getting it at a discount. Let's booze up. Mossy tones and aniseed sharpness fills your mouth. It isn't totally unpleasant. At least you can taste it. Why don't we get schwiggity schwasted?
And get supported, nerd.
And get supported. Jova, hi. Thank you for the 46 months. Everyone go and follow Jova. Jova's a fellow skunk streamer. They're super cool and awesome. How you doing, Jova? Is the screen getting wobbly? Drink, 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 drink. Overlook regular. You got a new top? Nice. Shirt or person? I hope it's a nice top either way. The glass shatters on the Mivlia. Yeah. Teehee. Ooh, whoa. Shirt, but not a shirt. Yeah. Cool. What kind of top is it? What's it like? Oh, I see you've DM'd me. Yo! That looks great. That's really cool. I gotta get me some better looking clothes once we have money again. I gotta get me a battle jacket. Like, I need a punk jacket, but I don't have one. It's a mix of a shirt and fishnets and buckles. Ah, cool. So it's all one piece. I was going to ask if the fishnet was connected or not, because it would be cool to just have like a half fishnet thingy that you could toss in on other things. But it's cool that it's all nice and together. It looks great. You look great. Yeah, it's connected. Cool. Emmy recently got some really nice leggings that she's been enjoying. They look really cool on her. Oh, blah, 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 blah. The glass shatters on the steel bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, haunt! The spacer calls from across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke. Playing human? Shout back, leave, ignore him. Ignore him. You hunch a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scar the bar's surface. A hand falls on your shoulder, but as you flinch away, it pats reassuringly. You freeze in place. You want to get a fishnet thing for your arms too? Yeah, we'll get you one at some point. Oh no, she's cute. Look what I've been missing out on. Look what was only $15 away this whole time. Tala, owner of the Overlook. Out. The voice comes from behind you, spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, a stare that could reach the wall and vent you all into a hard vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. I'll try to catch it. You reach up a hand and the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Yeah, that was probably stupid. Through the haze of glass and Giroye vapor, you see Tala leap the bar and close the distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Oh no. He's cute. Oh no. It's the other guy who's slammed. She's slamming the spacer. Okay. It already called her earlier. Okay, that's fair. I get a little lost at points. Would be nice if they have the space here. They could put pronouns down here. I want more video games to just put the pronoun next to the name and title and whatever. Or use a symbol. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tala throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda lights. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it is cleared, and a fresh measure of Giroye is glugged out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls on your shoulder once more. He isn't coming back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tala flops onto the stool beside you. Let's have a look at you. Tala wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol and a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them and then turns to you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. She's so right for that. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tala's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Watch her. Tala works with the skill of someone who has had to pick glass splinters from skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard, all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tala smiles to herself. So, you been on the eye long? Long enough. She laughs. Hey, you don't need to act tough with me. The splinter clinks into the tin. Not everyone is like that, idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you, maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be in this place. Trust me. She meets your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much and the company is, She leans in. Limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar. And if you need shelter, well, we can discuss that. Another house? Fourth house for Mivlia? You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the greenway this cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, Sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Giroye to you. This'll help. It's funny, we were clearly intended to see this basically at the start. Yeah. But I was like, I don't have money for alcohol. She stops, her hand on the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a rail regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, complete with dramatic actions. She gestures in your direction, and you instinctively look away, back to the worn surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Giroye. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You may not be able to get drunk, but this connection to something grown, something fermented, something old feels good. And now, I can work at the bar. Charles is as good as her word and happy to throw in a shifty or two this way. The pay isn't great, but tips can make all the difference. And eventually I'll get good service. The overlooked clientele can tell a tough crowd. Oh, shoot, I'm being raided. And I only have one snooze. We're going to snooze the snooze we can snooze. Oh, boy. Z, hi Z, thank you for the raid. The Duster Devotion is here. Give you the sawdust. I'll give you, there might be some sawdust in these scrap components. If we grind them down. Hi Z, how you doing? That one twink, cute furry. Aw, thank you. I am a cute furry. And you're probably a cute twink. I would imagine most twinks are. Welcome in for the first time. Thank you for the raid, Z. And hi Yarny again. Everyone go and follow ZZ's a lovely streamer. And hello everyone, my name is Mivlia. I am the Transpunk Skunk Extraordinaire. This is my venue. I'm a variety streamer, streaming whatever I want, whenever I want. And right now I am playing through Citizen Sleeper, a cyberpunk visual novel / dice RPG. We spend dice to perform actions on this space station, trying to stay alive through it all. If you guys need to use the bathroom, go get some food, or just be done watching streamers, do what you gotta do. Stinky furball, I don't stink. The skunks don't stink. Skunks make other things stinks. Haha, boobies. So true. So true. Alright, so I'm still waiting. Well, that task complete. It is time for bed. Yeah, let's go to sleep. Hey, those are some good dice rolls. Let's leave. What do we got? Emphasis still cooking. I don't need space mines anymore. I don't need scrap. Don't want to work there. Boop, 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 boop. I think it's time for more tracking that guy. Yeah. Okay. In the wild margins, we are tracking a guy who stole the ship mine from one of our friends' ships. I'll use the 5 here. That way I still have my 6s available. Positive outcome. Tracking Ashton complete. Akita. Alright. The trail ahead extends deep into an overgrown section of the greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the wastes, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken among its axis by rust or force, and lying among the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like frozen, brackish tide. This is where Ashton's hiding, you're pretty sure. All of your intuition points to the shadows beneath the collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Call Ankita or go alone. We're going to call Ankita. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments, you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he's here? No. Hold. Confused silence at the other end. Maybe it's better that you confirm to Ashton that Ashton is there before you call the target. Call in Ankita. Yeah, target is here. Copy. Hold it tight until I get there. The static cuts out, the channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead, the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange, overgrown biosphere, bordered by the void of space. You smile despite everything. It seems like an improvement. Frostburn tomorrow? Frostburn tomorrow! Hype, 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 hype. Super excited for it. Sleeper, Ankita, his hiss brings you out of your reverie. He's in the clap stack? I think so. She gives you a look. You better be right. I don't know why I couldn't message you and say, I think he's here. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances around the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway, with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through the dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting and you desperately want to rest, but Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there is a faint glow from the collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in pale and sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets your central drum, and holds up where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. In a faint circle of light descending down the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there's an object. A cylinder set on a tarp. It's connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken open. Wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Who is... You turn to Ankita and speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. Ooh! The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit. Shit. You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of your head. She screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. Stop! Quiet, sleeper, Ankita shouts. A shot rips through the moss beside you, filling your vision with green. The shooter must be somewhere on the other side of the tank. Do that again and I swear to God I'll tear their head off, Ankita shouts to them. Sleeper, you stay down. Alright, well, I hate to do it in the middle of such a tense scene, but we're about to run the ads, so I'm going to go ahead and let them go. I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Alright, and we're back. Thank you for waiting, everyone who did. There's a long pause. 3 whole minutes, in fact. All you can hear is the dripping of the water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out, "Oh, look at this guy." Let's see. I think that's what it says, disgraced mercenary. Ah, he's holding the sleeper. Interesting. "I'm coming down, Ankita. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sake." He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. "Drop the gun," Ankita shouts. He throws it down into the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. "What are you doing up here, Ashton, you sicko?" She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. "You ripped my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment?" Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now filled with the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has a hold of. "Steady, Ankita. It isn't like that. I needed the ship mine. You have to understand. They would have died without it." "What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mine and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now." She tightens her grip on the connection. "Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity." Ashton smiles shakily. It's interesting, too, that this knee is in front of the A in Ashton. I don't think the other characters have covered up their own names, but maybe. "That's why I never asked for your help. You only look after yourself." He nods at you. "That sleeper out up there, they're just bait, right, to draw me out?" Ankita sucks a breath in. "Are you trying to give me more reason to shoot you?" "I love them, Ankita." Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. "I love them, and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that." He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly, inching forward. "Don't do that, Ashton," Ankita snarls. "Don't do that." "Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of the way," he inches... if you don't get out of my way, he inches closer. "Please." "Can't you let you take it, Ashton?" Ankita hardens her stare. "You stole from me. You left me for dead." She shakes her head. "You think I'm going to trust you after all that?" "I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive." Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. "I'm going to take them now, Ankita." He raises a hand. "I'm going to take the ship mine and go." Ankita loosens her grip on the connections a little. Her hand is shaking now. "Stop, Ashton." She lowers the gun a little. "Stop." Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There's no sign of life, of humanity. There's just another broken object among the broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you're already gone. Whew. I guess I should have gone forward on my own. Oh well. That's tragic. Alright, well, what can I do instead? Nothing over here. I gotta wait on the mushrooms to grow. I guess I can work the overlook to make friends with Tala. Or I can scout the shipyard, or I can scout the hub. Interested to see how it plays out in another playthrough, for sure. Or I can work for Yannick. I think I'm most interested in finishing things here with Yannick. So let's patrol the block a couple of times. And these are engage actions, which will refresh my energy. Could see if there's any other clocks you haven't done that might introduce me to new stuff. Yeah. As far as I'm aware, I'm going to go ahead and do these, but potentially for a future day. There we go. Right now, I've got working on Yannick's, working at the Overlook, making friends at the shipyard. Castor, are you still not doing anything? Why don't you just disappear, sir? If you're not going to do anything else with me. Up the hub, I can explore the hub, and then there's nothing else over there. So. Alright, well, that's my dice. Let's, feed the stray again. Did I lose 4 energy that time? I thought I bumped my energy up. Maybe I didn't. Alright, well, not great dice. But Emphas should be feeding us here. Emphas is preparing the Matsutake caps. He cleans them carefully with a damp cloth before shaving the stalks as if he were sharpening a pencil. His knife slides through them, revealing the bright white of the flesh within. Boss. These are good, Sleeper. Very good, he says without looking up. I bartered with Mingi for some kelp too, so we can brew the dashi. Oh, you know Mingi? Emphas looks up from cutting with a smile. Everyone knows Mingi. Emphas slides the sliced matsutake mushrooms to one side.
Stretch, you gotta say
Big stretch.
every time I do a
Big stretch. You know that's the rules. I will do a big stretch. And thank you for the care package, Z. There we go. Got ourselves a drink, a big stretch. Excuse me. All right. Emphas slides the sliced matsutake mushrooms to one side and takes out a closed pan. He opens the lid and you see the green wafer of kelp sitting in the bath of water. Been soaking it since last cycle, Emphas explains. Should be good and warm now. He places the pan over the burner and turns it on low. Have some time now. He wipes his hands clean and throws the cloth over his shoulder. However, there's one difference this cycle, he smiles. You've been the one providing the ingredients, so it's my turn to provide the story. Okay. Good. The story is important to me. He gestures for you to both sit at the folding stools behind the stall. You see these? Emphas runs a hand over his forearm, tracing the circular scars that mark them like perfect bite marks. Conway called it an anchored interface rig. A mechanical control device for piloting a heavy-duty extraction suit in low-G industrial operations. We called it a bone suit. He points to a pattern of larger circles on his shoulder. They drill in and anchor it there. Then all the way down the arm. He taps each scar on the way. It maps mechanical movements to the suit exactly, as a one-to-one mechanical replication. You swing your arm, a 2-ton arm swings too. You should have seen the recruitment vids. Strong people in even stronger suits, tearing through stone and scrap. Superheroes. Half of my graduating year signed up, from company school to company shuttle. Gone away from birth to death. He stares off into the distance for a moment, fighting with the memories. But the bone suits weren't good. The rate of failure was high, and failures meant arms torn off, anchors torn out, broken bones. Bad stuff. So after a while, Conway discontinued them. No longer competitive, they said. He checks the broth, turning down the heat and adding the mushrooms. So there we were, hundreds of us, with surgical alterations for suits that didn't work. and he sent us home, back to the company colony that spat us out to be cleaners, divers, cooks. They gave us drugs for the pain and told us to make something of ourselves. Hey, it's the Prolo! Hi, Prolo, how you doing? Could I get someone to shout out the Prolo? Prolo is a fantastic fairy VTuber, and you should all go and check her out. How you doing today, Prolo? You've had a day, but you're all right. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a rough one, that's for certain. I hope whatever has been on you, something you can get a little rest and relaxation away from. Yeah, give her them pets. When I deserted, bribing some passing spaces to take me into orbit, there were only me and a couple of others left. The rest just faded away. Arthritis, osteoporosis. They filled it in on themselves like paper lanterns. That was my generation. The anchor points still ache, still burn. He touches the scars. But what burns worse is the betrayal. I've been on the eye a long time now, but that'll never fade. Not that, and not the faces of my friends. Emphas reaches over and sprinkles a handful of leaves into the broth. It's ready. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I will not let the story die, and as long as I'm telling it, it'll remain. Emphas pours the broth into a double-walled metal bowl and hands it to you. The heat radiates through your hands, and the smell drifts up, rich and sharp, like a pine forest after rain. Just chronic illness being chronic illness? Ugh, that's rough. I'm sorry. I'd say I know how that is, but I don't know what your chronic illnesses are. I know I'm disabled, but not disabled enough to get disability myself, but mostly for mental health and sleep reasons, and that I can have some pretty fucked up days here and there too from severe exhaustion because my sleep just doesn't work right. I hope it eases off of you soon. You drink the broth slowly, chewing the matsutake and thinking. Emphas busies himself with cleaning the pans in the bowl, sealing the kelp back up for another day. Then he quietly comes to sit with you while you finish your meal. Neither of you speak, preferring instead to let the story linger in the air a little longer. It is not that there is nothing to say, it is that sometimes, the moments after something, speaking breaks the spell. So you both idle, eager to be in each other's company, Emphas taking longer over his cleaning, his packing, and you savoring the final dregs of broth. When you finally finish and hand him the bowl, you feel the spell break, and the story leaves you both. And as you leave, you know that both of you are somehow a little more empty and a little more full than before. Story Eater trades food and stories with a local. Cool. All right. So that's completed. Trying to think of what to do next. Probably keep working at Yannick's ward, I guess. I don't. Well, let's check. Maybe my mushrooms are ready. I wish I didn't have to click on that every time. I get the one that takes me up to the big middle. Like there's no otherwise good control. Okay, no, my mushrooms will be ready tomorrow, which means maybe I should take my stabilizer pill. Might be a good idea to take my stabilizer tonight. Yeah, we're gonna work on Yannick. Okay. Control the block. Alright, can I get a 5 or a 6? Reroll. I can get a 4, which can be upgraded to a 5. Hey, we got the coin flip. Alright, we've got Yannick's trust now. You almost laughed when you see it. The same small recorder, stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is the familiar word sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabia says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I trust you to play. I trust you've got the play by now. Earn his trust. Work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you are the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need you to locate the link to SNARP. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabia says to be careful. Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay, processing the implant data and sending it to SNARP, but we can't lock down its position. Either he's moving it, or it's moving itself, or it is rerouting through many other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details of it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get into the office. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. Pocket the recorder just in case and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. Yannick's office. Find the relay. Yannick has asked you to collect his medicine from his office. Now's the only chance to find the SNARP relay. Okay, it doesn't have a counting down clock, so I can do it whenever, and it's an intuit action, which is a +2. So I just need to wait until I have a 4 or better, and I can finish up this quest line. Which means for now, I have a 3. I can use it to work the bar. That seems like a good enough thing. Like, I might get a negative here, but that's okay. I'm gonna work the bar. Neutral. 13 cryo, 1 good service. Okay. And then we go home. And then we are going to take our last stabilizer. Okay. And end the cycle. Alright. Good-ish dice. Let's look around a little bit. Our mushrooms should be ready. We can pop this when we're ready. I keep wondering if if Ashkita is going to appear. Ah, the ambergris. There is something here. Akita's away. Amber is docked here at a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, "Sleeper, stay. I'll be ready soon." Okay, so I will be able to talk to her about that eventually. Okay. Okay, so I could work on the mushrooms. It's also an intuit action. I think I'm going to go do the important quest first, and then we'll harvest our mushrooms. Here's a question. Is Emphas just order fungus now? He doesn't have something for the last batch of mushrooms. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yannick's office. Guaranteed success. Find the relay. Relay located. You look at the countermeasures on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chuck of tech. The relay. But you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant. A small plate in the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNARP. Rabaya said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer on the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control, or has SNARP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings, then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNARP. There it is. You pause for a moment. Then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame, and it crumples, sparks, and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as lobby to Yannick's office. Then, out onto the walkway where Yannick lies still, and forces gather around him, bemused. Approach. You push through the crowd, and there he is, still crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is under his suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for SNARP. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick the man was gone a long time before now. You place a hand on his chest. You're sorry for him, but it is done now, and you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was or had become is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNR. Remote control. Stop the signal. Interesting. I thought that was going to be for stopping the signal out of my own head. How many achievements have I gotten, and how many achievements are left? Because I remember this not having a ton of achievements. I've gotten 11 out of 27. Ah, okay, I can see one that's coming for me. Okay, well, I'll figure out the rest of this later. For now, with that done, yeah. The aftermath in 4 days. The low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You're still waiting for Rabia to get in touch, but you trust that she will. We'll save that. 4 days. For now, we can focus on mushrooms. Alright, harvesting mushrooms. Womp. We got a Matsutake and another clubhead. Mushroom. Let's re-roll my dice. Much better. One Matsutake, 2 clubheads, and one more time. 2 Matsutakes. Okay, well, with this many Matsutakes, I should have this finished. I might even have extra Matsutakes. Hopefully I can do something with them in the late game. There we go. Rico meets you at the entrance of the the lab, leaning on her crutch with a glint in her eye. Walk with me, Sleeper. I'd like to tell you a story. She makes her way back down the corridor that leads back up towards the main commune building. When people first crossed what we call the Founder's Gap into the Greenway, they did so against the wishes of Andre Erlin. At the time, Erlin was trying to stabilize the Union and establish control over the Eye in the wake of Solheim's collapse. It was chaos, competing factions, falling systems, so many dead and injured from the riots. That was his priority. You both cross through a glass-roofed tunnel, the greenway outside crowded with vines and branches dappling the light. Erlin had written the greenway off. Cut off from the rest of the station and linked to a broken spoke, he claimed it was only a matter of time before everything here would die. He refused to let anyone abandon their duty to the Union and cross. They were traitors to the cause, or as good as. Rico continues, making her slow but steady way into the inner gardens of the commune. There weren't many of us, but we believed what was here was worth saving. We had to keep our plan secret until we crossed, and some of us left people behind. She pauses to catch her breath, her voice cracking. It's difficult to know if it's from effort or emotion. What we found was a disaster, nothing like what you see here. Half of the greenway was leaking oxygen into space, the plants flash frozen. The other half was a swamp of mulch, as decaying and matter clogged every system. We worked hard, lost good people. We cleaned up and closed up, but it was never going to be enough. After many cycles, we all knew this place was doomed, but we kept on working, talking less and less, because we couldn't face it. We all developed a death wish. If the greenway was going to die, so would we. But it didn't die. It did not, Rico smiles. We crossed some invisible boundary, tipped some biological scale, and the greenway started to recover. Plants flowered, crops sprouted. For the first time, we reaped the fruits of our labor. Rico smiles, looking up at you. We thought it was us, that we managed to do just enough to end the cycle of decay. I thought we had saved the greenway, until today. You pass into the grow beds of the commune, rich with the hustle and bustle of Haifa members, planting and harvesting. For a while, Rico is quiet, and you both simply observe the hypnotic movements of the worker crews. The eager chatter washing over you like a wave. Rico smiles to herself. I should have known, of course, that our arrogance was unfounded, but we needed to believe back then. We needed a myth to bring more people across the gap. You both move into a smaller corridor, Rico following some direction unknown to you. What you have shown me is that, back then, the Greenway saved us, not the other way around. Tell me, have you ever consumed one of the Matsutake or Giroye caps that you've been growing? Yeah. I imagine they were delicious, nutritious, almost uniquely so, she muses. After all, they were designed for you. Rico has a mischievous look. At first, I thought it was the location they were grown in that made the mushrooms from the aviary, from the labs, or from the groves different to each other. But what I came to understand is that it is the person growing them. The Matsutake and Giroye caps you brought me are totally unique, containing compounds never usually found in similar specimens in my possession. Many of these compounds aren't even digestible for humans, but for a sleeper like you. Rico smiles as she leads you into the internal garden of the commune, where the Haifa members have planted species from all over the Greenway. Back when the tide turned, when the Greenway started to recover, we all felt something, a response. It was as if the place was not just alive, as a forest is alive, but alive in other ways. Communicative, responsive. We shrugged it off at the time, but now I understand why. Rico stops and turns to you. This place is responding to us, adapting itself to us. It is growing fruiting bodies for you, for me. It is adapting, changing. It is, in short, displaying all the signs of sentience. The Greenway is sentient. Perhaps not the Greenway, but the ecosystem itself, or something within it. Rico sits on a bench within the peaceful gardens and gestures for you to join her. When you have been growing the Giroyes and the Matsutakis and the aviary, those species so familiar with the Greenway, have you discovered any others? Yes. Rico can barely contain her excitement. I should like to see those. Please bring me some next time you are here. Okay. You look around the garden, amazed at the sense of peace within it. Rico interrupts the silence. There's a species of mushroom that I haven't seen in years. It is dark, short, shaped like a club. Yeah, I got those ones. We first found it in those early days when we were working to save this place. It was around the time when we started to lose our first members. They were succumbing to some infection, some mold growing deep in the dark mulch that drowned this place. At that point, we thought we were lost. And then these mushrooms emerged from that same black mold. We tested them and saw that they contained some compounds that counteracted the mold. They contained an antidote. Of course, as a botanist, I saw this as part of a natural process of the ecosystem, even if the timescales seemed absurdly short. But what I'm wondering is if that antidote was a gift. Rico meets your eyes. Perhaps, if you are patient, you will receive your gift too, Sleeper. You both sit for a while, Rico seemingly done telling stories for the day. You watch the light playing off the leaves and plants around you, and wonder what forces could be at play in this place. After a while, you stand and leave with a quiet nod to Rico, leaving her to her memories. Well, I've got enough clubhead samples. Getting close to when we should wrap up stream, but I'll go ahead and make sure we at least finish this day. Rico is at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and you aren't sure if she notices you approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you. She looks up, smiling. This little project of ours has been keeping me awake the past few cycles, but right now, well, I think I have something. What is it? The drums finish spinning, and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. This is something I've extracted from the glubheads you've been bringing me, and according to my analysis, it is a substance totally unique on the Greenway. You look at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Rico asks, without looking away from the vial. Is it stabilizer? Rico nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Rico's tone suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. I just thought... She pauses, thinking very carefully how to continue. I just wanted you to trust us. What do you mean? She sighs. They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken sections near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They were quieter than you, and damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them to the commune. I only really spoke to them once, while I was working on their wounds, along with a couple of systems engineers. She looks nervously at you. I've never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples. Samples? You have to understand, I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail. She shifts her weight to her crutch. The next cycle they were gone. They took a little food and hiked towards the wild margins, where the Greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. That's probably the ones that Ashkita killed. She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here, rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. Seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once. She holds out a hand with the vial. This is for you. You take the stabilizer, the glass cold and smooth in your palm. Thank you. Don't thank me. She gazes out to the Greenway through the glass. Those clubhead caps made it for you. Or at least who or whatever made those clubheads. She starts to clear her bench. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from the Sleeper to know that your body, your frame, runs on some exotic technology. Exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like the miraculous antidote that sprung from the mold, so too has this sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. What I also know is it is no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I have not seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many clubheads as you like. I'll extract the stabilizer and give it to you, freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it. And to find what being is at the center of it. I've traveled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Yeah. Rico sighs with relief and deflates in her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper. Truly I am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more. But I'm so glad I met you. She smiles. You are welcome here any time. Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realize how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idle a little in the lab, in case she asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel. Thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up, weighing on your mind. Grow your own. Become self-sufficient through botany. Okay. The only way to understand what gardener gave you is to grow it. Rico is incredibly excited at the prospect. Alright. That's going to be 2, 3, 4, 8 days. And in the Hypha Labs, I can turn 2 club heads into stabilizer. Pretty good. So I'm pretty much set for the rest of the game. Although I imagine there isn't too much left. I'm pretty high level. I'm finishing up most of the plot lines. Makes me curious for later. The wastes. Ambergris. Alright, well. I'm going to go pop this one into some work and then go to sleep, and that's where we'll wrap for the day. Negative outcome, $6. Okay. Alright. Imagine there isn't too much left. Yeah, I can't imagine a whole lot. Okay. End the cycle. And now I can just use scrap to keep myself maintained as well. I am in pretty good shape. I'm surprised how easy the game has ended up overall. I kind of expected it to be forcing me to make more hard choices. Maybe I've just been lucky and picked the right paths. It would balance all those times I've picked the wrong paths in video games. Alright, well, we'll find out more tomorrow. I might go and check some, like, stuff. But, yeah. Having a good time with it. I hope you guys had a good time, too. As always, you can all join the Discord if you like. It's a nice, chill community where we support fellow streamers. And you're also more than welcome to just follow me on Blue Sky or do none of the above. And if you guys wouldn't mind grabbing yourselves a raid message, we'll go find somebody to raid. And, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for more of this. And then, what is today? Today's Wednesday. Then I'll have the weekend off. And, maybe we'll finish it tomorrow. I don't think so, but we'll look. It's possible. Tourmaline's doing Helldivers, but I don't think I want to raid them back to back. He's doing Retro. It's Val's birthday. Still. I think it's her birthday proper now. She's collabing with Sagacious Sarah. I don't know them. Anyone else? Not really. Fawn's playing Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah. Which is a pretty good game. I do like that one. But I think we'll do Val for her birthday. So... Alright. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Try to take care of yourselves. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.